Touch your head and then touch your nose. Stand up and turn around. Sit back down. Sit. Okay, so let's say your child is doing some skills with you, and all of a sudden they are not able to comply with your directions. And it's not necessarily a thing where they don't always understand, but maybe they're just not willing to be compliant at that time. Or maybe they have not seen the connection between following your directions and getting reinforcement. So, one thing that you can do is called behavior momentum. And what you do is you shift from a more difficult skill down to an prerequisite skill or an easier skill to build that momentum of responding back up. Right? Their pace is slowed, and you basically want them to comply and be able to do things at a much faster rate. So I was just doing receptive instructions, and something that's easier than receptive instructions is to do some generalized imitation or gross motor imitation skills. So he was having some trouble being fluent with his receptive skills. So we are going to shift down into imitation, and we're going to build that momentum back up. And then we're going to switch back over to the receptive skills to see that momentum be regained. Okay, so now I'm going to do this, right? He's going to copy me really fast. All right, tap head, touch nose, stand up, turn around, sit back down. All right, so we took that momentum that we got from the generalized imitation and we switched it to the receptive. Sorry, my boys don't always like being on camera. He just got done with a long day of school. So basically that's the idea. We're taking the momentum from an earlier skill or an easier skill and we're transferring it over to the more difficult skill or the skill where they're not more likely to be as fluent. And we're using it to build that momentum. It's called behavior momentum. It's just one way to regain their compliance or regain their focus or regain their attention and then shift it back into that original skill to maintain that fluent level of responding or the pacing of responding that you want from your student. So again, it's called behavior momentum, and it's a great technique when you feel like your pace or your fluency has slowed.